about that. Technical difficulties. EE, your internet sucks. So we've been having some internet difficulties around here lately, and it just so happened that that happened at exactly the wrong time. Um, but we are back now, and hopefully things are going. Everybody receiving us? Everybody receiving us? Good. And Martin has disappeared. Martin. So, anyway, we ran through the metrics and the Artillery Hornet got 75 and the Ender 3 Pro got 60. So, at the moment, the Artillery Hornet is ahead of the Ender 3 Pro in the race for Can You End the Ender? The Artillery Hornet also has a similar size build volume, slightly smaller. Aha, Martin. I was just explaining to the boys and girls in TV land that EE's internet is rubbish.
Mine?
Yep. And we just experienced a cutout from them. So, yes, hurrah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So,
basically, what I was trying
thanks,
to show you
Ragtag.
before we got interrupted,
Yes.
we now have the Ender 3 Pro,
Yep.
the Artillery Hornet, and that makes the Artillery Hornet hot.
It does make
That
it very
is
hot.
the hottest printer on our board so far.
Yes. So, the only the major differences then being is that the Artillery Hornet has a slightly smaller build volume by 5 millimeters on the X and Y.
Yeah.
And
The Z is actually bigger.
the Ender 3 Pro you can purchase for £160, whereas the Artillery Hornet is £222. So
currently the actual Z on it is a touch higher, I believe, on the Hornet.
250.
250, isn't it?
250 is the same. The Ender's 250 as well.
Cool. I've noticed as well the Hornet prices are slowly creeping down a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's listed as 242, but it's got 8% off. I don't know if that's a permanent thing. But if we jot down the price on those tags as well, then we can start seeing as to whether price makes good or price does not matter.
Yeah.
So
that's a good point, Ragtag. We haven't based on upgradability.
yeah, no, we are working purely on what comes out of the box.
It's basically a look for basically novice and a general overlook of the unit
Yep.
with no playing.
Out of the box, because I mean it's the same as any car. The question is how fast do you want to go, how much do you want to spend. I mean you can
basically when you get to modding, there isn't really a printer out there that you can't mod. It just depends how much you want to spend on doing it.
yeah, I mean if you're looking at upgrade, then you buy the cheapest frame you can and buy all your own parts, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't at that point it ceases to be whatever it is you're buying and becomes whatever it is you're trying to make. So
we just
I
want to
don't
get
think
general consensus: is the printer worth getting? Is it user friendly? And does it look semi nice?
absolutely. And at the moment, the Hornet is rating as a hot property. Obviously, if you want to go into upgrades and upgradability, we can definitely do a show on that at some point. We might even be able to get Simon on to do some chatty chat.
Yeah, we
That
might
might be
get,
fun.
yeah, that might get so technical nobody will understand,
That's
but
perfect.
it will be fun.
That's perfect.
It
I'm
will be
totally down for that. Um,
fun.
but yeah,
Beautiful.
no, this is purely stock out of the box, because otherwise I mean, you can't
You
really
open a can of
compare.
worms of um, uh, what is the best upgrade? Everybody's got a different opinion on the best upgrade. Everybody's got a favorite product, a favorite producer.
Depends
It's
where you want to get to.
yeah, yeah, for
Depends where you
sure. I
want to
mean,
get to. I mean,
don't get
are
me wrong.
you why get an all metal hot end if you're only printing in PLA? You know.
Don't get me wrong. If we get producers want us to show their accessories or their upgrades and their mods, we will do a whole different section on that.
the
I will
part
go.
the reason we have in the metrics the bonus section, for is it dual Z, is it direct drive, is it all of these things, is because if it comes with those,
It's
then
one less thing to buy.
you don't need to upgrade it, you know. So they'll get bonus points for having those upgrades on already.
The thing I like with another thing you said the Z. One thing I did like about the Hornet, they've inverted the Z, and the
Okay.
reason they said was to eliminate Z wobble. Well, I thought, well, how the hell does that eliminate Z wobble? It's exactly the same, just upside down. But it does something because I'm not getting Z wobble at 80 millimeters a second.
Is it
The
are the profiles different?
what, as in the slicer
The
profile?
profiles and wheels.
Um, no, what they've done is they've put the no, the wheel profiles are identical. They're more or less in the same place as the Ender.
Mm.
Um, but with this motor upside down, they've got like a floating joint on the carriage, if you like.
Mm.
So it actually moves in a socket.
Yeah, yeah.
If the Z does that, if you like, it just portrays round in the socket. It doesn't make, it's not tight enough to make any difference in the socket, but it keeps that pressure on the Z to go up and down.
Well,
For some reason,
it should be anyway. I
yeah,
mean that's part of the problem with the enders is like those are done up too tight.
fixed place, isn't it?
Yeah, you need to loosen them off a touch, not loads, because it doesn't want to be
Well,
slopping around like a turd in a bucket. It wants to
you know where
be
they are on the bracket on the Ender. You've got that brass
yes,
piece the Z goes through. That's solid, isn't it?
that should be floating.
Yeah, these on there are literally in like a housing.
Oh, perfect.
So
Oh,
you've got
really?
casing so it can just literally roam. And
Oh,
yeah, I,
yeah. No,
it's good.
that's how it should be. Because the
It's
thing
good.
is with the ender, they're done up too tight in the factory.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
this is where people get Z binding from, because that's not free to float.
No, it's actually a fixed position in the
Yeah,
end,
because
and that
you get that on the 5 plus, because
right.
it's not assembled to the best standards.
Yeah,
You can often find that you get like three quarters of the way down, and one side will lock up.
right. I'm with you.
What you've
Yeah,
got to
but
do
almost
is loosen off the guide bars at the top, move the thing to the top, tighten them up, drop it,
and let it.
loosen the bottom, drop it to the bottom, tighten them up, and also loosen off the brass Z
Yeah, insert.
guides. Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to realign all that yourself, which if you
yeah.
don't know what you're doing, there's
It's a
no
lot of
way
work.
you would know.
Nah,
There's
it's a lot
no
of
way.
work.
To be fair, I was speaking to my dad and saying, look, this is happening, and because he used to design machines, you know,
Yeah,
he used to use bearing assemblies very similar to that. He was like, right, these are the steps you've got to do, um,
yeah, yeah.
and yeah, we got it aligned, but there's no way you would know.
It's, no, no. I mean, And that's the thing. Even with the ender, if you're new to printing, it is a bit of a minefield. If you're getting major Z, you start losing the will. Really, you don't want to be in the hobby anymore because you cannot work it out, and it's
There's
you
there's
know
somebody not far from me at the moment who's selling an Ender 5 with 30 kilos of filament for 700 quid. Ender 5 plus with
what
30 kilos of filament for 700 quid.
yeah, but 30 kilos, so 30 rolls. See, the average £10 a roll, isn't it? Is 300 quid.
It's the same stuff as I'm using that print me.
Oh right, okay.
So
Yeah.
£14 a roll.
Well,
That's
yeah, I think
that's
yeah.
still that's still that's still like 500 quid's worth of filament.
Yeah, it's 500 quid worth. Yeah, it's not bad.
So he's effectively selling the Ender 5 plus for 200 quid.
Yeah, pretty much. He's selling it for
But
under
it
50.
sounds like he's having a bad time,
Yeah, he's
basically.
probably just like, I can't line this up. Do you want to message him, tell him to join our show?
I I was tempted to offer him 600 quid a lot.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad price.
Yeah, but I don't want another Ender 5 plus.
Yeah,
And I don't know if I really want 30 more kilos of print me filament.
it's a lot of filament.
Yeah. Have you have
That's a lot of
you
stock.
have you had that lot arrive from me yet?
It has arrived. It has arrived, but I haven't had the joy to use it yet
Yeah.
because I thought it would be a good idea to run a filament I've used a little bit before. I know is good, and we can put it under the other chart.
Nice. Yep.
That was my thinking.
Yep.
And then this week I'll be using a bit of the stuff you've brought down and a bit of everything really.
Yep. Fair
So
play.
we can do more.
So that's a nice little segue itself into the next of our great tests that we're going to be doing. Da, da,
Next.
da. So
Uh, so
introduce it.
basically we are doing can you get under the hot end?
Yeah. What does it
Oh,
take?
what
What
does
does
it
it
take to
take?
get under my hot end? Not a lot.
Well,
Not a great deal.
that's a story for another day,
Yeah, that's for another time.
another
So
time.
basically, we thought it would be a nice idea if we do a similar sort of chart of if it is hot or not, but in filament.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. So this week, to kick it off, I have been running on reprapper filament.
Rep
Um,
rapper. Okay.
reprapper,
Old school.
which yeah, proper old school, but
The
they are coming
originators.
back. Huh?
For anybody that doesn't know, because there are probably quite a lot of people that don't know, the
Hmm.
RepRap project was the early stages of people trying to make affordable 3D printing, and with the
Well,
conceptualization of getting 3D printers to print 3D printers. Um,
yeah,
so you could
pretty much.
effectively make most of a printer using
It is.
a printer,
Yeah. Basically,
which
they
is what has led to the Ender 3. Like the Ender 3 was kind of the first major commercial rep rap spin-off.
yeah, basically what happened was previous to this point, the licensing for 3D printers was tied up quite heavily in industries. Uh,
Stratasys and stuff like that, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, and basically when that um, cool off period finished, RepRapper dived on it and were like, we are going to create a printer that everyone can afford, and you can print your own printer from that printer.
Yeah,
And it just,
because RepRap was the open source project and MakerBot was the kind of commercial side.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sort of like a opposite spectrum, if you like.
Have you seen the documentary about MakerBot?
I haven't. I
It's
haven't. I keep meaning to, and I've just
it's quite
like,
interesting. Yeah, it's quite an
yeah,
interesting watch.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it's
I
worth it.
think that
It's
could
worth
be
it.
quite yeah, it could be quite a good one, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Uh,
enjoyed it. I thought it was
yeah.
fun. I thought it was fun.
Ragtag saying he's been using Eono. I will be coming to that. That will be hitting our board. I've actually got some of that here.
Yep.
Um,
I will be
I
entirely
did,
deferring to Martin over the testing of filaments because Martin has the total experience of filaments. We do have another little spreadsheet that we can fill in, but it's going to be a bit more of a wing and a prayer, I think.
yeah.
And
I think for the moment we're keeping the filament one pretty simple because for us to go into full lengthy testing with filament, it's quite a lengthy procedure. And
mhm.
for us to keep doing it on a weekly basis, in between everything else that's going on in our lives, that's going to be quite hard.
What's all this
Um,
we stuff, Martin?
well, me.
Yes, you.
And for the most part, I think what we're going, or what I'm going to try and cover is what's most important. Is
Yep,
it good? Is it worth the price?
yep.
What's the color like? Is it
This is
vibrant?
this is going to be more stick your finger in the air, and Martin's going to choose where it fits on the board.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
The tickets will have the name, the color, and the price written on it.
Pretty much. Pretty much. You have pretty much nailed it. So I went with reprap this week because A, they sent it me not long back. Um, B, I think the colour matches the Hornet pretty damn well.
Yep,
It's not too far out. It's slightly lighter. Not
yep.
gonna lie. Never mind. um, basically, I found with this, it is actually good filament. It is silly good. It prints really well. Um, I can't see any form of moisture in it. The winding is phenomenal. I actually like the
How
spool.
often do
It's
you get filament where the vacuum sealed bag is no longer vacuum sealed?
I've probably had it maybe 3 times.
Right.
I don't often have a bag that's been pierced or unsealed. I've had it where a spool has been cracked, but the bag's still sealed.
Hmm.
And I've had one that was bad, real bad, where literally if you touch the filament, it just shattered. It just kept imploding. It was horrible. It was, yeah,
Just like
bizarre. So
dry,
you end up,
uncooked spaghetti.
yeah, yeah, a bit like pasta that had been dried out and cut up by some child to make somebody's photo, but really couldn't be bothered. And you end up spending hours picking it up. That was probably the worst one I had.
Yep.
That was annoying. It was a brand new roll of black, and within 10 minutes, I probably had about 5,000 pieces, about half an inch.
Well, that's boring.
Yeah, that annoyed me. That was annoying. Um, so, with the rep wrapper, it's a the, the color is stupid vibrant. It really holds its color. When you print with it, it doesn't lose it. If you know what
Right.
I mean, it stays there.
Okay.
Um,
Do you find that, do you, that you lose the color tarnishes once it's gone through the
I've
hot
had
end sometimes?
some filaments that do that. When you get them, you think, "Oh, that's really nice" when it's shiny,
Mm,
and when you print it, and you just think, "Hmm, that's not quite as it should be,"
right. Okay.
which it's annoying. It's not a major issue. It's no structure difference. It's still got the color,
Hmm.
but just not what you were quite expecting. It's just loses that edge a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, this stuff doesn't disappoint at all. If you open it, you look at that roll, that is what it prints like.
Mm.
It is
Nice.
bang on exactly the same as it is on the roll. It's lovely.
I think we might have to go down the road of just printing a benchy to stick on the board with it. I think that has to be the way
Yeah,
because it's the recognized model and it will be an easy way to compare the filaments.
yeah, we could do that. Definitely, we could do a benchy.
Yeah, I think after giving it
On
a
the
week's
Hornet, it would
worth of
take about
thought,
2
we
minutes.
might have to actually like lower ourselves to printing benches.
Well, if we let the Hornet do the benchy, it's going to take about 2 minutes. So it's no major desperation, is it? It's just done. It's insane.
Yes.
Basically, the spool itself on this, I really like. I know a lot of companies at the moment are going over to the recyclable scene. Reprapper are using a plastic, but it's almost like a tree color, but it's very open. You can see how much filament you've got all the way down. That's quite a big one for me. I hate rolls where you can't see the filament at all.
Okay.
I like being able to judge, right, I've got quarter of a roll left.
Mm.
I'll get
Well,
away with printing that.
you'll
That's a
love the
bonus.
print me then. It's totally see through.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I like. I like the new Creality HP series. They're a clear spool. I love them. Love them. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got 4 layers left.
Nice.
Feel depressed when you get to the end, like, but at least you could see you're getting to the end.
Yeah. Ragtag says
um,
he'll do the filament testing for you.
Ragtag wants to do the filament testing for me. I bet. I bet you do. I have got plans on trying to get more. I wouldn't say free rolls, but maybe testers or coupons and big deals in the group. So you've seen lately, I've got more um, deals coming to the group recently. I'm hoping pretty soon there'll be even more for
Mm.
you guys to actually benefit from. I'm only trying to post deals of filament that I know is relatively good
Yep.
and at a good price because
Yep.
otherwise it's just not worth it.
Yep. Yep. It
All
would
right.
look really bad if something is in our not pile, and then
Yeah, and I'm going
you
to have low cheap.
you've got the offer on your
my
group.
group.
That's
Here, have this.
it's not a
It's
strong
really
look. It's not a strong look, you know.
crap. So, um,
We've got to stress as well that we are that none of these companies are paying for reviews on this. They are sending us free samples of the filament, and then Martin is testing them. They're not paid for reviews at all, and they
no.
will get our honest feedback.
Oh yes. And I do state with them, it will be honest. If it's crap, it's crap. I can't cover up a crap roll of filament.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to promote anything as rubbish.
No, no, not at all.
No.
So anyway, moving back. Adhesion on it, fantastic. This stuff sticks well,
Yep.
very well. When it lays on that bed, it lays on that bed. It's basically I had one cool down where I had the bed a little bit too tight. I think it was the cube, and even when it was cold, I still had to chisel this bugger off. He
Nice.
was tight, so it sticks well, very well. Stringing, I've not had any yet.
Were you just using your generic profile?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Even
Link
no,
in the
even that was
description.
even on the fast. That was on fast, and still no stringing, no untoward little blobs or anything else. It was, yeah, good.
Mm.
And the same on the heat. The heat range on the rep wrapper is a very wide heat range. I think it's something like 185 to 220 or something silly.
What the it's totally usable.
Yeah,
Right.
So far, I've gone from mm, one eight 185 all the way up to 200.
Mm,
And I actually sit it at 200 now because I can't be bothered to change it in the slicer.
mm,
And it prints bang on.
mm. Yeah, prior to the craziness in the last year, most of the filaments I got, I was printing at about 192. And then since all the craziness and trying to find decent filament, like the only filaments I've been able to get have only printed at around 200.
It's yeah, I think recently everything's creeped up a little bit because they've all tried to do.
Well, again, it's because
Oh,
I'm going for cheapest possible.
yeah, you're just going for whatever you can find at the local high street shop.
Whatever I can get as an affordable price,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And I think that has affected the material that's available at that
yeah,
price load,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
unfortunately.
See you later, Red Tag.
See you later, buddy. Take care.
Yeah, I mean,
Thanks for joining.
I've had there's a couple of filaments out there that I know are on good price tags, and they're not very diverse, if I'm honest.
No.
I'm hoping we come to them later at some point,
Hmm.
just so I can show you what I mean. Because if you get their sweet spot, they are stunning.
Mm.
Outside their sweet spot, yeah.
No, I'm interested to know what you make of the print me when you give that a go.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to give that a good run. I think we'll probably do the print me next week. We'll get them on there.
Probably, I reckon we should probably do like a showdown, like between two filaments, and then like
Two?
one goes on the board.
Right. So we're just going to launch one of them off. we just,
Boing.
we just like get a massive trash can. Yeah, this one's crap. Yeah, I think that's a little harsh, but we
Yeah,
could.
probably. That is probably a little harsh.
I think what we need to do is similar to the ender. If it is proper crap, it goes right down the bottom. Purely because some people might want to buy something crap.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, this is again why it'll have the price on there, so you can
I mean,
see how much price affects quality.
when I, at one point when I was developing my pro, if you like, I actually went out of my way to buy crap.
Mm,
I was finding the roughest, crappiest stuff I could possibly buy. I was asking people, "What's the worst filament you've had?" And they were saying, "Oh, this, that." So I'd buy it
mm.
just to see if I could tune my ender and my profile to work on it.
Well, this is the
And
thing is like when I first started, it was like, I used to spend a lot of time fiddling with settings and dialing stuff in. And like you, I had a profile that was like, I'd send it to people and then they'd be like, it's great, better than Shep's,
brilliant,
you know.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, brilliant.
and like you'd get a lot of I'd post up pictures of my prints and they'd go, oh, is that Sunlu? And I was like, no, it's £6 off eBay.
Yeah. No, it's free filament.
Yeah, it's the
Yeah, you've
cheapest that
got
I
to.
could find.
I think to be honest, if you're the heavier you get involved in 3D printing, you've got to do it at some point.
Mm.
You've got to try a crap roller filament to know how crap a roller filament is.
Mm.
And
Well,
if you can do anything for your printer to overcome how bad it is. I had one a little while ago that had so much moisture in you wouldn't believe it. It was insane. But it took me like 2 days to work out it was all the moisture.
I had a silver roll. It was a fairly old one actually, but it was just fucking unprintable.
Yeah.
I ended up throwing away, 90% of the roll. I was just like, this is just, I, there's nothing I can do with it.
I had a marble and that done the same. It just went brittle and started snapping and popping and doing all sorts of weird crap.
Yep.
It's just like, yeah, got to get rid of it.
Anyway, we're getting sidetracked.
We are. So yeah, in general, it's pretty good damn stuff actually,
Yeah.
and it's at a good price point.
What's the price of a kilo?
Kilo, it's not cheap, but it's certainly not expensive. Expensive, what I'd class. It currently sits around £18 a kilo,
Right.
but reprap are doing huge deals and coupons and all sorts on their Facebook groups. So name drop for you. If nobody's on there yet, get over to reprap.
Name drop. Name drop.
They have got a lot of deals going on
Nice.
currently. Um, Starting for around £14 upwards, I believe. I think it
Oh, okay.
was. Don't quote me on it,
Okay.
but yeah, very reasonable. And they've actually been doing a lot of people samples or you know opportunity to test it and see for themselves, which is nice.
Nice.
Um,
They've not been doing this, here, have a roll, we'll give it to you for free for a review on Amazon, have they?
Not that I'm aware of, but I haven't really gone down that route with them.
Yeah, I don't like
Um,
that.
I'm not over fond of the review Amazon whole "we'll pay you back next week" thing.
Well, it's
That
a scam.
yeah, basically it's I'm buying a review.
You're cheating the system. I
Basically,
don't
yeah.
like it.
I don't
Um,
like it.
because like it breaks the review system.
Of course it
Um,
does. You're just filing out a load of false review.
bribery,
Bribery.
bribery. It's false. I don't like it.
No.
But
I
you
mean,
know, that's just me.
yeah, that's that. To be honest, that's a way a lot of companies go. They there's big reward for them to do it.
Well, yeah, because people go onto Amazon, they look at the reviews,
Oh,
and you've got a ton of 5-star reviews. Oh, it must
yeah.
be good. No, they just give
A
away
lot.
loads of filament.
There's a lot of people that benefit from it in a way as well because they get a free roll of film, but it
Maybe.
just doesn't benefit everybody else thereafter.
Hmm. And,
So
I mean,
anyway,
if the filament is good, then the
yeah,
filament is good.
yeah,
But
exactly.
it breaks the system.
Yeah, it does. It does.
You know.
So basically, with this, I can't really floor it. 18.99. It's a bit on the steeper side. It's not top end. I certainly wouldn't say it's top end, but it's certainly not cheap. So if you were paying the 18.99, yeah, yeah,
Too rich
maybe.
for my blood.
Yeah, it is. Well, yeah, it is on the higher.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. I wouldn't be buying it.
is it worth it for the price point? I actually think yes.
Okay.
I do think yes
Yeah, I mean,
because
I I can't weigh in on this one.
no, the reasons behind it. The colours are stupidly vibrant. They are some real vibrant colours. Even their grey is a real vibrant grey,
Hmm.
if that makes sense.
Hmm.
It's like a light, really nice grey. Um, it on every scale it prints without fault.
Hmm.
I have not had a major fault caused by their filament. So for me, on that, if I was looking for a high-end filament, yeah, I'd give it a shot. If you can get it with a coupon, get it.
Yep,
Well worth it.
yep.
Well worth it. So we're going to keep it simple for the next few weeks until we get our feelers on this.
Well,
We're
once
giving
we've
it,
got once we've got 5 or 6 on the board, it will start to make a bit more sense.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm keeping it on a 5 point system at the moment,
Yep.
which we've covered. Pretty basic, pretty easy. I would class this as a 4.5.
Okay. Cool.
It's got everything in it, and it's pretty damn nice.
Okay.
So yeah, it's getting a 4.5 from me.
Okay.
So that can go it will be the first, pretty high, on the board. It's there.
He started out with something right under his hot end.
I had something right under my hot end. There's a bit of a gap. We can get a couple in between because it's not a 5.
Not a
It's
5.
not a 5. It's not a 5. So I've left a bit of a gap.
I know. Okay, fair enough. Cool. Well, that's us wading through our first attempt at the features. The printer review will go a little bit quicker next time because we won't have to recap all the stuff for the Ender 3. So we'll just be going over the printer of the week.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do we have another one on the way, Mr. Martin?
I actually have. I have a few here. We've got a few that can keep us going for a while.
Absolutely.
Is there one on the way? I don't think there is.
Okay.
I've got another bit of tech on the way.
Right. Okay.
Which should be here pretty quick.
Yeah. I also can go through the CR30 as I had my hands on that one.
We haven't added the 5 Plus.
No, we won't.
We won't.
There's no point. It's fucking terrible.
Yeah, but this is the point. It's gotta be hot or not. We can't
It's
have
not.
all hot.
Yeah, it's not.
Right.
Okay,
So
just put Ender 5 Plus, not. There you go. Done. I mean, I can run you through it. It's really fucking noisy, really hard to put together. It's not user friendly. It doesn't work. Customer service is shot.
What are we classing that as?
What? I mean, I did a score for it.
I've got it.
Yeah, it's got a 54.5. Yeah. Ender 5 Plus. It's a 54.5. It's a big.
Can we put it on?
Yeah, do it. Do it.
It's got to go on the board, isn't it, Pete?
It's a big.
Ender 5 Plus.
It's a big, noisy, horrible paperweight that is not user friendly, is not suitable for the beginner, and is a pain in the ass to upgrade.
To be honest, I can think
it does come with a glass bed.
I can think of at least 2 that are worse.
That's fine.
I can think of at least 2. And they make that look good.
Ouch.
Yeah, they make that look real good.
Ouch.
I mean, these are.
Yeah, but were they made in the last 18 months?
One is still being produced.
No, but like designed. Well, the 5 Plus the 5 Plus came out in, what was it, September 2019.
One of them would have been, yes.
Right. Because I ordered the 5 Plus not long after it first came out.
Yeah, one of them would have been because it's a rehash. But oh my god, it makes that thing look like a dream. Oh yeah, serious. This is like probably I'm reckoning point wise 12.
I don't think it's actually possible to score 12, but you know.
I think it's going to be that low. It's going to be like there's 13 points in our system. This will get 12. It's bad, mate. It's horrible. But we will cover that. I have one.
Oh, okay.
I have one. So we can cover that. And I can actually at some point cover the A-net as well.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
still got one of them.
Got all the top end end printers.
But then on the flip of that, I've got a dual mixer that we can get in there. I've got
I thought there was a special one that was on the way soon, but never mind. We'll get to that. We'll get to that when it
Not
happens.
that.
There's a good bit. There's a good thing happening at the moment though. What was that machine that we were looking at earlier? The
Yeah,
8 colors into one extruder.
yeah, it's like a bit like a palette, isn't it? A
The palette,
mosaic.
like the palettes, but
Yeah, the
like
mosaic.
way better.
It does look cool. I'm
Looks.
very yeah, I'm trying to tick in on that one.
I was chatting to the fella.
Mm, I see.
Simple, simple construction,
Mm,
basic design, like very, like I couldn't see many points of failure. Like
it,
the pallet has 5 different motors in it that all need to
it's,
work together to make something happen, plus the splicing thing, and the splicers are like odd. Like there's so
yeah,
many points of failure, it is unreal.
yeah. I mean,
This,
this thing looks quite polished.
yeah.
I quite like it.
What's it called? Oh, I need to go and
I can't
try
think.
and
Oh, hang
trying to find it
get
now.
it. You know. Yeah,
Try
it was
the
Hong
PITTA,
Kong.
the PITTA.
The Pitta. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. It's the PITTA. I might chuck a link in the description for that as well.
Would?
Um,
Yeah, yeah. Chuck it in there, mate. Let's name drop that bad boy, Peter or whatever. Yeah, it's
yeah.
from what I've seen or what videos and what pictures he had, they were very nice.
Mm.
I think they're quite game changing, actually.
I think he's onto something there.
Yeah, it looked
And
very
I
controlled.
was chatting to him as well, and he's using very much off the shelf parts, um,
Yes,
stuff
yes.
as
It
well.
did sound like it was nothing you couldn't replace easily.
Mm.
I think were the terms I heard.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's quite
Yeah, I
exciting.
mean, it looks like it's been built up in his own workshop thing.
Yeah,
I assume it's probably like Arduino controllers and stuff like that that he's programming
yeah. I would
himself.
say he's probably done a bit of design work, and some of it's printed, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, he's got some laser cut side panels and the
Mhm.
main body looks printed.
Yeah,
At the moment, obviously that might change to injection molding and stuff once he's got the final details.
yeah,
But yeah, it looks really good. 8 colors, 8 potential
yeah,
colors into one extruder.
yeah.
Um, I
Yeah, what
was
it
I
actually
was trying
produces
to
is like,
say to him if there's any way he can look at indexing um, the moving filament so that if it stops moving, you have an emergency recovery where it will just ignore that and move on to the next one.
yeah, that would be good. I mean, it's
That would be amazing because the last
similar
thing
to a
you
smart
want in one
sensor.
of those prints is a fail because one jams up or runs out.
Mm. Similar to a smart sensor, really. It can sense when it's not moving anymore.
Yes, but it's how you balance that.
Yeah,
I was wondering if the stepper motor is not actually like once it's fed it into the extruder stepper motor, if that's powered off, whether you could get a feedback from that and then use it as an
does it
indexer.
become idle?
Yeah, you
That's the
use it
question.
as an indexer, and then if it stops, then you kind of you throw in an emergency program to cancel that one and go on to the next.
Knock it out. Yeah,
That
that'd
would be
it'd
amazing.
be interesting.
For
It'd
the
be
main
interesting.
reason that like the only reason I wanted a pallet was to use up ends of rolls. And the
Yeah.
only thing is when you get ends of rolls, it just clogs the fucking pallet up.
I've got so many partial rolls now, it's nuts.
And
I might start
the
doing bundles.
splicer is not reliable at all.
No, no, I hear quite a lot bad on the palette, to be honest.
It looks amazing.
It
It's
looks all
such a nice piece of kit to have in your hands. Like
yeah.
when I got it, I opened it up and I was just like,
Oh,
oh, oh god. Like it's, and then when you turn it on and it lights up and it starts moving things about, it's like it's beautiful. Oh my
it's like
god. Oh
proper Christmas moment.
yeah, it's amazing. And then you try and use it and it's like,
Uh,
this is horrible. This is absolutely horrible.
that's
Not
not what you want.
like it.
Not
Hmm?
what you want. You're like, oh my god, this is amazing. Why can't something just perform amazing?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then
Yeah, that's
you've got to tune it into your printer and then tune your printer into it and everything like that. And it's
yeah.
like, oh god.
Most people struggle with tuning their printer. So why are you tuning something else to it? This,
Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
because it unlike this one where it's running, so you've got the other system that you can get where you're using a couple of different extruders to run like four different filaments
right, yeah,
in that multi-socket thing. This looks very similar to that, only he's using a single extruder on a solenoid, which is very
yeah,
clever. Um,
yeah,
and there's less points of failure because the palette effectively you run the G code on the palette and then it makes your filament as it goes along. So the idea is that it's just one filament that comes out the end of the palette,
yeah. I'm with you.
and then your printer prints with that one filament. And if your
Yeah,
printer it doesn't print at exactly the right places where the filament changes color, then the colors don't end up in the right place.
really.
Whereas this one, of course, what it does is it works very much like what is it, the G-Tech A10 or whatever, where you've got the multiple feed
The
inserts.
A10M and the A20M and the A30M,
Yeah,
and well, actually, the A30T would be it's triple.
yes, exactly
Yeah.
that. And it pulls them out and then back into the extruder.
See, the only thing that I would be interested in there then is the G-Tech series is renowned for cloggage if you extrude all out of one. Yeah, so if you've got the M say, which is a dual color, a twin color, if you extrude 100% on extruder one,
Well, no, because you're using your normal extruder.
yeah,
You're using your normal hot end. You haven't got a
so
special
all it's
multi-socketed hot
doing
end.
then is feeding
So
back and
what
forth.
this is doing is your multi-socket is on the non-hot end side of your extruder.
Yeah, all right,
So
okay, so
it
it's on
takes
the
it,
inside.
yes, it unloads
Yeah.
it all the way out of your extruder and then loads the new one all the way back into the hot end.
So theoretically,
It could totally snag up in the extruder.
well, yeah. Um,
There's always that.
but the other side of that is if you would have to obviously change the steps determined on if you're running a direct drive or a Bowden system, because obviously the direct drive is a lot less retraction than what a Bowden would be.
Well, yeah, you'd be able to set that, I assume.
You'd have to, yeah, obviously you'd have to sort of tune that into what your machine is set up to, I guess.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
So
yeah, you, but that's fine. Like, I assume there would be, it would allow you to set that up somehow. Um,
somehow, yeah. See, because
yeah,
I'm,
yeah.
I'm wondering if your Bowden length was different, with that impact in it potentially?
Quite likely.
Yeah, because if you had a longer Bowden length, then it could impact with the amount of retraction to the box, to the unit. Interesting.
Yeah. But you have to do that with the pallet. The pallet, you have to set your length of Bowden and everything.
Right.
Like
Okay.
you have to set that all up exactly.
Fun. So it means getting a fucking big caliper then,
Yeah. Yeah, you
or a
have to
tape.
measure your Bowden length from between your extruder and your hot end, and then they have a preset Bowden. You get three different Bowdens from the that go from the pallet to your extruder. So
Right. Yeah.
it needs to know exactly how much filament is between the end of the
Yeah.
pallet and your hot end. Yeah. I mean, you can't get away from that. You have to know
Yeah.
that.
No. I'm just
But
my brain's thinking on it.
it does look like very much there will be preset ones that will come with it
Yeah, you can
potentially.
just fire in and go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, interesting. I am intrigued. I hope I can actually get a bit of communication on the go with him
Yeah,
and
we'll
just
see. I mean, it looks like it could be very very interesting.
yeah. Yeah. So I think that could be one to watch actually because it's kind of fresh to the market, isn't it? Nothing sort of entered into the market like that recently.
Well, there's three options.
Yeah.
There's that one. There's the I can't remember what it's called now. Um, but it's one that's similar to that but uses more extruders.
Right.
And I think it uses the type of multi-head. It's basically like a multi extruder conversion, but it uses less
Yeah.
extruders than if you had
You've
um
always got the felt tip mod.
sorry.
The felt tip mod.
I've seen that.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cracker. Just go with that, people. Don't worry
Yeah, yeah,
about
yeah. I
felt
mean,
tips.
just paint it afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me personally, I don't really care about color printing, like multicolor printing.
Yeah.
But what I do want is a system whereby I can run one filament
Multiple filaments.
that's like a bit of filament and
You
just
could do
leave it, and then when that's finished, it'll run the next filament through.
you could do with um, a bit like the A20s. That's what you could do with because you can alter when you
Well, it's okay.
what extrude.
I've got the Jade Labo.
Well, yeah. I know what you
The
mean.
Jade Labo's on its way, and that will
Yeah,
do that. So
you've got with the G-Tex, you can alter which extruder extrudes how much all the way through. So you can actually change it mid print. It doesn't affect it.
hmm,
And if it detects, I believe if it detects on the A30 Pro, if it detects a filament run out, it'll automatically switch.
hmm.
So yeah, a similar sort of principle. I'm sure it was the A30 Pro. I can't remember now. It's been some time.
It's okay. The Jade Labo does it. So
Yeah, that's the win, isn't it? Uh,
I was sort of thinking about that, right? And we can go back to. I was thinking about how that works, and like I was thinking about this model, right?
yeah,
And
but
I was thinking I could actually print that in three different colors because I can get this base bit
yeah,
printed in one color, and then once it starts printing above that level,
you
change
can.
the filament in one of the extruders,
Yeah.
and then it will print the rest of the
Well,
one
to be
section.
honest, yeah, to be honest, you got four options, haven't you? Almost because you can
No,
swap.
because of heights and where different bits
Yeah, of course, because
intersect.
the eggs and then the fit. Yeah,
But
shame. I see you
I
hit
can
the eggs.
get the very base bit because we've got a texture on there, yeah, with the
Yeah,
ridges. So you can get the ground layer in one color, and
yeah,
then this bit, and possibly the stems in the middle there and the webbing in another colour, and then get this bit and those in a third colour.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
That
That'll
that would be an
be
interesting one to
interesting.
try.
Mm,
But
that'll be
it would involve manually changing the filament in one of the extruders.
nah. Send it back.
Yeah, I reckon.
Send it back, mate. It's
I'll just
failed.
I'll just sell it on. I'll just sell it on.
You have to knock off points for that now on the chart. Having to manually change filament on one of my heads.
Ugh.
Not
Oh,
very user
what
friendly.
is this? The 18th century?
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Where's Oliver when I need him?
Here, boy. Coming in the filament. Blessed. No, I can't actually wait to see that. I'm actually super jealous you've got hold of one of them because that looks awesome. That
Yeah,
does look
I'm just still gutted that the CR30 didn't.
wasn't awesome.
Well, just doesn't work for us. Like
Yeah, I know what you mean.
it's a good printer, and I wouldn't say to anybody don't get one. But for
Yeah.
what we need it to do,
Nah.
not for our thing.
You actually done a point system for the CR30 as well, didn't you?
Next week.
We're doing that on next week, are we?
Might as well
Yeah.
save that for next week.
Yeah, that's cool because I think we're going to have to get it up there at some point because you've got experience with it and
It scores well.
yeah,
Scores well. I mean, it's a good printer.
yeah.
It's got.
I mean, it's a lot of boxes for most people.
Mm.
For most people, it's just not ideal for.
I would tend to say you don't want it as your only printer.
No,
Um,
no.
Definitely not. Like you don't want it as your only printer. You want an option of the normal style Cartesian printers. But
Like Hornet.
yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. Because like the one thing about the CR30 is it's slow.
yeah, I can quite imagine.
Really slow.
Mm.
Um,
Doing all of that, isn't it, and then back down. And yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, you
Yeah.
you don't get 40 millisecond out of it.
No.
You,
No.
you barely get 30 millisecond.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But it's about chugging through lots of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just about pushing, going, walking away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a chugger. Like if you want to do 200 of one thing, it's great because you can just press repeat and then tell it to do 200. And like if it has a fail, it has a fail. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, you're not really going to cry about it.
No, because you haven't had to put any effort into it. It's just oh, okay, that one, just roll it off into the bin. You know? But it'll just keep chugging through and keep chugging through. If you want something to print fast, then you want another printer.
Yeah. If you want something print ridiculous, get Hornet.
If you're doing biolab tiles.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You want to print out an entire biolab.
Yeah.
Queue it all up.
Like
see you in a month.
Just let it go. Yeah. That'd be perfect for that sort of thing.
It probably would as well.
Yeah.
Actually, like you could probably orientate the tiles that it would print them.
Pretty bang on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you were into your what they call it, the thingy forge or whatever, the forge tiles.
The printable sceneries.
Yeah, and the draw forge and that sort of stuff.
Open lock.
Yeah, open lock stuff. You just literally bang it on and off you go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Bulk printing, like that is definitely the way.
Yeah.
Like I say, those for because of the way we've tuned our models, just
Yeah, it's not easy.
yeah. I found that the models that we print the most are not the most suitable for that printer, which then means that that printer is not the most suitable for us.
Suitable for you. Yeah. I mean, I know I've got guaranteed this week. I've got some special filament that I'm hoping to get through,
Hmm.
so that will be on next week.
Nice.
Definitely. This is very special. Uh, I'm hoping. Well, I'm going to try and get through that filament you sent down, so we can play with that.
Nice.
Uh, I'm hoping. Well, I'll have a new webcam, so we'll be playing with that.
Nice. This is a test print from what I've been playing with today.
That's come out well.
Actually, I was quite surprised. It's very thin and kind of
That's like the stress rabbits I used to do.
it did have a issue
Oh,
on one of these.
yeah,
Um,
that's comfortable.
it's fixable.
Yeah, it's livable.
But yeah,
No, well, like it.
yeah. Wait till you see the rest of it.
Ragtag's back.
Hi, Ragtag.
Yeah, bless him.
I'm back.
Can't stay away there.
No. Well,
Yeah,
I think we're probably rounding up for tonight at this point, aren't we?
yeah. Well, I think we've hit the board. We've hit print. You've had some time on design with Lucas, uh, and I'm still. You're always stalking.
I'm still stalking.
Good man, Maestro. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so I've got a couple of filament things to play with this week that are going to be a couple of long prints,
Hmm.
some of them. I'm going to have to do some long prints this week, so that'll be interesting. I'm hoping to run a long print on the Hornet and a long one on the Ender, so we can sort of see what they're both doing,
Yep.
which I think will be quite nice.
Side by side.
Sorry?
Side by side.
Yeah. Well, what I might do is I'll probably run them on the same profile so they take about the same time as well. Hold the Hornet right back
Yep.
and see what that does. I think that could be quite amusing.
Yeah.
And
Tell you what
then,
though, going direct drive on the 5 Plus, like retractions are on point.
yeah, I love my direct drive if I'm honest.
Absolutely on point.
Yeah, I
There is
changed the Ender 3 Pro to
there is
direct drive. I love it.
no stringing on that at all.
Nah, that's good. No, I like that.
None. No stringing.
Cool. Nice.
I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be a mess. I've got this funny thing at the moment is the Ender 3 is not playing ball and the Ender 5 is suddenly doing everything right.
Hmm.
Fuck my life.
Yeah, and we'll go over that. We'll have a talk this week and try and stuff your Ender 3 because that seems to be playing silly buggers.
It does. I mean, it's fine. It does this from time to time.
Just,
Yeah, yeah. It just goes through a week where it doesn't want to play. You know?
just nope.
And then it'll be 6 weeks of joy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it'll be a week of like nope.
I did have a week over the Christmas period where mine was just like no, 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 no. It just didn't want to play. It didn't want to do much. But I done a full deep dive service in the end
Right.
because I had been running it for about 12 months solid, if I'm honest.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Easily done. So, yeah, I'd done a pretty big deep dive, and since then, touch wood, it's played ball.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
might be rock
who'd
solid.
who'd have thought maintenance is a thing?
I know. Come on. You're not getting a point for that.
Shouldn't these shouldn't
No.
these things just run forever?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to knock a freaking point off for having to being high maintenance.
Yeah. No maintenance in 5 years and it still works perfect.
So yeah, that is the dream.
Yeah.
That is the dream. So any of you producers out there, if you can do that with no maintenance for 5 years,
You'll
I
get
think
5
you're
points
probably
on
at
our
the top of
score
the board.
scale.
My under
Zero maintenance printer.
does that. It put it in the corner to soak. Well done, Ragtag.
I threaten mine with percussive maintenance.
Yeah. I generally just show it a hammer
Yeah,
and it plays.
exactly. That's
Just
it.
go,
That's it. Percussive
joking.
maintenance. Hit the bloody thing.
Yeah, just crack it one. No,
Yeah.
I must admit, touch wood. I mean, since I went direct drive and the BTT setup I got on mine, it is just push and play. It really does play ball really well. I've not had any mechanical major issues since I went across to the system I've got. I occasionally get filament issue or a bad slice is my issue, which I've got a few of. But no, in general, it's solid.
I think
It's
some of
solid.
the issue at the moment is possibly the heat.
The heat, yeah, the heat's played. I must admit, I've had to back down a little bit. I pretty quickly eased back on the temps a little bit and tweaked around a touch.
Temps stayed the same, but today I had a little play with the flow, and
Right.
actually that fixed it.
Nice.
That print's perfect.
Nice.
That print's perfect, and the top is ironed like glass again. It's like, yeah, great.
Winner. Yeah, I think you probably find a lot of it is
The
temperature
filament.
and weird crappy filaments and yeah,
I
general.
I really hope that EO 3D filament is all right.
Yeah. What's that? The EO 3D is the newer one, isn't it? You've got.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't
Yeah.
used it yet because I've still got like 25 kilos of the other one. That it's like, well, if I use the other one and it's good, then I'll just order more of that, and then there's 25 kilos of filament that I'm not going to use. So I've got to get through the other lot first.
I will play with the EO this week,
Oh
definitely.
God.
I will definitely play with the EO.
Do the two of them next to each other.
What, the EO and the crap?
And the print me. It's not crap. It's just not like what you would expect.
It's just not good. It's a difference.
I don't know.
Gonna rate?
No, but it in all honesty, it has its benefits, right? It doesn't warp at all.
It's a win.
Doesn't warp at all. No shrinkage. Very dense, right? It's a solid filament, right? The only thing is it plays havoc with your flows. Like trying to like
See,
it's a really difficult one to describe.
How did you find it through a direct drive?
Sorry?
How have you found it through direct drive?
Well, it's on the 5 Plus, so like I don't think it's a fair comparison. Okay. Mostly fucking plays up like shit, but it's the 5 Plus. So I like the direct drive is a band-aid for that machine. Like this is that filament printed on the 5 Plus direct drive, right? Retractions are on point, right? The only thing is, right, and look at how thin that base is.
Yeah, so yeah, it's like a single.
That stuck. That held to the base the whole time, right? And the overhangs, right? Fine,
Mm.
absolutely fine, right? This printed fine, right? But I can't find some crap that printed on there. But you'll put something big on there,
And
it
it's
just pulls it up.
right.
You know.
Okay. Well, it
But
could be interesting because
to
I'm
be
set up
fair,
direct drive.
I put that down to the end of 5
We'll see.
because
We,
like a big chunk of it is just that thing is terrible.
we'll see. We'll see what happens because I'm on direct drive with the Pro Light, but it generally copes with my profile on pretty much any filament.
Hmm.
We shall see.
Yeah. I mean,
We shall.
I use it for test prints
Yeah. Yeah.
because
No, that's fair. I mean, it'll go one or two ways, isn't it?
the annoying thing is I went direct drive so I could up the speed, and then
Right.
I found that it just won't do the speed because if you push the speed, it just falls apart.
Right. So it just to dump.
Great.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'll give it a go. I'll see what it plays at, and then we will. Well, I will go and tell next week.
Because you know, the thing is like the 5 Plus should easily be able to do like 80 millimeters a second.
You would think.
Easily.
You would think.
Right.
And
Like
yours is doing.
50 tops. You go higher than that, and it just doesn't lay down.
What about if you do like the first 3 layers at 40? No.
No.
No. You want to get a Hornet, Matt?
I want something. I fucking want something. No, we are getting to a point where I need to replace the 3 and the 5 Plus. Really, I need another large format printer, and I need to look at.
There's a
I
few.
mean,
There's a few.
yeah. The end of 3 has now done many thousands of hours.
Yeah.
And
I can imagine mine's the same.
It still works.
Yeah, they keep going, and you just feel sorry for them. I can't replace you. You're too good.
The only thing is then it has its week of nope, and then you're just like, I'm so close to getting another printer.
You're going. You are going.
So close to getting another printer right now. You're gonna be on that.
I've been there.
You're gonna be on that scrap heap sooner than. Oh, you're working again.
The printer heap in the sky.
Yeah.
You're gone.
Oh, I see. You're working again. That's good. Congratulations.
I mean, what's everybody else's opinion? Should Neil keep the Ender free or move on to something else? Leave it to the audience. Let them decide.
Well, I've got the Jade Labo coming. So when that actually arrives in like 3 months' time, that changes things.
No, we're talking about replacing the Ender.
Well, the Jade Labo will.
So what's replacing the 5?
I don't know.
There we go.
I need
Let
to
the
replace.
audience decide that.
I need to replace the 5 Plus. The thing is like I really like the idea of the vertical bed, because when you get a bed that's that size, you don't want it doing that.
You don't want it moving backwards and forwards. Not really.
The setup on it is amazing. The execution is terrible.
Yeah, it's just flawed, isn't it?
Yeah. From the get go.
From the get go.
And you get loads of people turning around saying, "Oh, mine works." I'm like, "Well, lucky you."
Right. I'm gonna have to call it.
Yeah, no worries. No
Mate,
worries.
I've got a few bits to sort out.
Yeah. That's
All
fine,
right.
buddy. Nice.
Sorry, lovers.
Well,
But until next week, and we will go from there.
yeah, exactly. Thanks everybody for turning up and watching the general snafu. And we'll be back next week with some more interesting things and possibly the other half of this.
Right. Cheers, everyone.
Take it easy, people. See you later. Bye bye now.
See you later.